news, the alleged CEO killer, Luigi Mangione, denied bail, as many people are sympathizing with him online tonight. The book Delay, Deny, Defend, which is about the health insurance industry's tactics, jumping to number 2 on Amazon's nonfiction bestsellers list. Number 2. Safe to say that book would never have been anywhere near number 2 if it were not for Luigi Mangione. Those 3 words, delay, deny, defend, were almost identical to the ones found on shell casings near the crime scene. And on Yelp, the McDonald's where he was apprehended has been hit with a flood of 1-star reviews, calling the employees, quote, snitches and rats.
I don't want to catastrophize or none, but this world is getting crazy. Hello, my name is Shelly. Welcome back to the Clam Show. There's a lot that's been happening. I just saw in the news that a lady in New York on the subway station got set on fire. What? Unaliving's happening in broad daylight. The Amazon and Starbucks workers, they're going on strike. I'm not sure why they're going on strike, but I'm sure it has to do with work-to-life balance and the pay and the work conditions, because we've been hearing about the Amazon work conditions for forever now. And that's only just to mention a few things that's happening right now. But today, I do want to talk about the unaliving of the healthcare CEO. The suspect of the unaliving is Luigi Mangione. Today we're going to do a deep dive, and by deep dive I mean I've got questions. The themes of the story that I'm catching is greed, personal struggles, mental health. Most important, societal outrage, because it is crazy right now. Let's bring it back and just get a little refresher of what happened. So on December 4th of 2024, Brian Thompson was unalived in broad daylight outside of the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. The alleged shooter is 26-year-old Luigi Mangione. Now, Brian Thompson was one of the most powerful CEOs in the healthcare industry. He was there attending his company's annual investor conference. But as he left the hotel, he pretty much woke up unalived. Apparently it was a single shot, and it was from a handmade 3D printed ghost gun equipped with a homemade silencer. This is crazy. This wasn't random. It was very much calculated. And the suspect is Mr. Mangione. Now, a little background on Mangione. He's a 26-year-old graduate from the University of Pennsylvania, literally 2 years older than me. He came from a wealthy, influential family from Maryland. His grandfather was a self-made millionaire, building a real estate empire that included resorts and country clubs. On the surface, Luigi seemed like he was destined for success. But behind the privilege, he was struggling with chronic back pain from a spinal condition led to surgery.
The OKs may have had spine surgery. And while I was recording this video, this news article was released, which did confirm that his friend stated he had surgery. Looking at his Twitter, he has this x-ray in place, which shows screws into his L5 and S1 vertebrae. That's the one he posted, and this is what it's supposed to look like. Now, we need better x-rays to evaluate the true placement of these screws, because this is not the most ideal placement of this hardware into this patient's spine. Now, the x-ray that he posted may have been taken at an oblique angle, but ideally what you want to see is that the 2 screws per level line up perfectly, so it looks like there's only 1 screw in each vertebrae. The reason why he may have had spine surgery could be related due to spinal instability. This instability could lead to spondylolisthesis, which means that one vertebrae could be pushed forward on top of the other vertebrae. As spine surgeons, in order to fix this, we would have to put 2 screws at the level above, 2 screws at the level below, and then reorient the vertebrae so that they line up on top of each other just like this. And the idea is that by putting in these screws and these metal rods responds in the back, you would stabilize the spine and prevent this pathological movement and ideally reduce pain. He also had a book list which included this book called Crooked, Outwitting the Back Pain Industry and Getting Back on the Road of Recovery. There was also this other book called Back Mechanic. Now, spine surgery is like any other surgery. If the indications are correct and the surgery is done properly, then the results are usually ideal. But not every patient responds the same to spine surgery.
With those frustrations, he would later channel it into a handwritten manifesto accusing healthcare corporations of greed and corruption.
Luigi Mangione's manifesto has officially been released.
Don't you find it odd that all the evidence was found?
Maybe he's not as smart as everybody says he is, and he's actually just insane. There's no way anybody would think otherwise.
It seemed like he intentionally wanted to get caught to make a
You're crazy! Cut it out with that MK Ultra stuff. Here's what his manifesto said. To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I stated plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. There's a spiral notebook with my to-do list that pretty much illuminates what I was gonna do. All my tech was on point because I work in engineering. I apologize for any strife or trauma, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. The US has the #1 most expensive healthcare, yet we rank number 42 in life expectancy. United Healthcare is the #4 largest US company by market cap. It has grown, but has our life expectancy? No. They've gotten too powerful and abused the social class because we allow them to. I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the argument, but many have illuminated this corruption and greed for decades. Yet the problem simply remains.
We have the most expensive health care, but we're number 42 in life expectancy.
I'm not done talking! Are you saying you side with Luigi? This isn't a game of Mario!
His actions, but don't you find that a little odd in that we are a for-profit country when it comes to people's
Luigi also stated it's not an awareness problem, but it's power games at play. Do you believe in his actions?
That's not what I said.
I can't believe people are siding with me! I'm sorry, man. It's too late! Donald's 2025!
5 days after the Unaliving, Luigi was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, with the weapon in his possession. Along with the weapon was his manifesto. A chilling document where he detailed his anger at the healthcare industry, blaming it for his pain and millions of others' struggles. It seems like Luigi's manifesto reveals a man who felt wronged by a system he believed prioritized profits over people. But did that justify his actions? That's for the courts. That's for the courts and society to decide. Brian Thompson was at the helm of one of the largest insurance companies in the world, with a reported network of 43 million smackaronis and an annual salary of $10 million. He represents the pinnacle of corporate success, and to some, the very system Luigi despised. This case has reignited debates about the healthcare system in America. Is it a system to help or exploit?
I just came in person to make extra sure I'd be covered for the surgery I need in 30 minutes. It says here that, like, no. What? Why? Okay, so you have the Premium Gold Plus plan, right? It says here in the contract that we literally never have to give you money for any reason ever if we just, like, don't feel like it. What? Stop making my job so hard. At least give me a real pre-existing condition.
Public reactions has been divided. Some see Luigi as a cold-blooded unaliver, while others disturbingly view him as a vigilante against corporate greed.
He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's.
That McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where a worker spotted the 26-year-old eating and called 911 Monday, targeted by Mangione's supporters.
What am I going to do? I'm going to stop eating at McDonald's.
It got so bad, Google had to remove reviews after that location was flooded with negative comments. Someone hung a banner above I-83 with the words "Deny, Defend, Oppose, Healthcare for All," a reference to bullet casings left at the crime scene. Amazon pulled apparel and home goods featuring the phrase. Online, Mangione may be a folk hero to some, but offline and in person, no shortage of those condemning him.
Healthcare is a mess in this country, but to celebrate somebody's death is sickening.
The people in these higher positions, like CEOs, they need to look at themselves and their company and ask themselves, why are people so ready to condemn us? Why are they so willing to call someone who supposedly killed another human being a hero?
This division raises an important question. When does personal pain and outrage cross the line into violence? Beyond the crime, this case exposes deeper society fractures, issues of wealth, inequality, healthcare access, and the mental toll of chronic pain. Legally, Luigi is facing first-degree unaliving charges, potentially classified as an act of terrorism. If convicted, he could face life in prison without parole. I wanted to show y'all this post. This was before we found out who Luigi was, pretty much. This came out like 2 weeks ago, but it was a photo of him, like whoever was caught on the camera, allegedly Luigi, and it's people lifting that person up. It has 147 likes on this Reddit page, and the Reddit page is called Pics. So let's see what else is in this Reddit page. So let's look at the comments. I do like this first comment. It says, please remember the human. While many, and I mean many Americans go through medical hardships due to the policies of health insurance companies, it is against Reddit's rule to wish harm or death upon someone. So that's the mod. So these are some of the people's experience. So this one Redditor says, I can only speak to my own experiences. UHC, they tried to tell me that my child being born 9 weeks early and having a 33-day stay in the NICU was not medically necessary and denied her $200K bill. Oh, I had to get Attorney General involved, and it took over a year to get resolved. That is a long time for that issue to not get resolved. And I don't understand how that's not medically necessary. I can understand that being frustrating. Like, and someone else commented, wow, that is just terrible. I'm so sorry. Clearly something is an emergency and medically necessary if they kept your baby in the ICU. True. Very true. How can it not be? Ridiculous. Yeah. Something similar happened to me, but it was for myself and it was a lot lower stakes. But still, I had to pay $7K. They claimed my ER trip wasn't medically necessary when I didn't know what was happening and I had no choice but to go. I couldn't swallow anything and had lost a ton of weight, had breathing issues. I know now that was EOE. I don't know what that is. How am I supposed to know that when I'm not a doctor? That should be illegal. It seems like a lot of people on this Reddit has had some issues with United Healthcare. One of the other comments say, really shows the relationship with healthcare in the U.S. is so bad that people are celebrating unaliving of a healthcare CEO. We really gotta fix that. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And someone commented, there are really only 3 of them at this point. I don't know what they mean by 3 of them. But Congress clearly isn't going to change the situation. These healthcare companies are salivating at the chance to steal the wealth of the baby boomers as they enter old age, via their desire to just age comfortably, literally going to drain them of all their wealth, leaving nothing to transfer to their Gen X millennial children. It would be the biggest wealth steal in the history of the world. That would be insane. And that has over 2K likes. So it really is kind of stressful to kind of think about. Not only are these healthcare systems not helping, but they're just sitting there collecting your money. Like, what are we paying insurance for? I can understand the frustration. Another commenter said, I'm really curious to know what executives are thinking right now. Like, they saw this on corporate-owned news media and probably thought, yeah, people are going to think how terrible. And they look at the comments on social media and see everyone laughing and celebrating. Any self-reflection on their own behavior and what they are doing in life, or nah. I'm sorry, the or nah part kind of got me. If I were an executive right now, I'd be sweating. My biggest fear would be the plebs realizing how terribly the corporations are ruining their lives and doing something about it. That's valid. This is definitely like a really big event to where something has to happen. a lot of people are talking about this case, and as a result, expecting a change. There's some people that don't want Luigi to get any consequences because of this.
This Ivy League hottie named Luigi is the Robin Hood that we never knew that we needed.
I listened to Luigi's manifesto this morning 3 times and I cried. Honestly, it's beautiful and I agree with him.
At least he left a very powerful message and he highlighted how terrible the healthcare system is in America. I think he'll go down as a hero in history.
He had been a named suspect for less than 48 hours, and yet, within a fraction of that time, many in the world of social media had already made up their minds about Luigi Mangione.
I'm just eating it up because this is like regular everyday person becoming our hero, our vigilante.
These types of comments angering law enforcement and public officials.
I don't care your views about healthcare companies, because I don't think they're great right now either. But you do not celebrate the assassination of another human being who was just doing his job.
Okay, here's another interesting take. Anyone making that much money could care less about the public. Money and power changes you. You no longer see people, you see systems and means to acquire more money and power, or keep the money and power you have. Human life means dollars and cents, always has since the beginning of currency, and before that was salt and crops. The problem is we have human beings that make decisions solely based on profit and what they can get away with zero concern for the people they are supposed to be ensuring. People die, and many times people cannot be saved by procedure or an expensive drug. But those decisions should be in the hands of doctors, not a bean counter and his 15-level higher boss who is in Cayman Island 8 months a year, 3 months in Paris, and about 1 actual week working as he laughs himself to sleep on a pile of dead bodies. We don't want vigilante murders, but it's hard to find anyone who thinks that our current system is anywhere close to correct. We don't want vigilante murders, but it's hard to find anyone who thinks that current system is anywhere close to correct. It's clear to me that if Kamala Harris wanted to win that election, all she had to do is say she was going to arrest every leader of insurance and healthcare companies and put them on trial for crimes against the American people. That's a very interesting take. Oh my goodness. To an extent, that person is kind of right, especially in terms of people that access money and it changing them. In the Bible it says the money is the roots of all kinds of evils. And we even see with the P. Diddy case that there's all kinds of evils happening there, and he's one of the richest people in America. So is Jay-Z, one of the richest people in America, and they're doing all types of crazy stuff. And every now and then they donate and make it look like, you know, I'm a good person sort of thing, and make it look like they're doing something good for whatever community that they're donating to instead of genuinely helping them, you know. But it goes to show, because they've been having money for years. They've been in that position for years. And so when you're in that position for years, I don't know what that does, especially if you don't have a relationship with God or you're not grounded. I don't know what that does to a person. I can easily see a person losing their morals because of that. But yeah, there's a lot more being said to the conversation, and I think him being an attractive, young, relatable type is speaking out to a lot of people.
It's not all about rage against healthcare, but instead something far more subjective and superficial.
It's the halo effect, like, manifesting in real society.
You really?
Like, I truly believe so. Like, people treat people who are attractive, like, way differently.
People are, like, giving him leeway with this because they are fantasizing him a little bit, but I don't think violence should ever be the answer, no matter the circumstance.
Because I think online is people saying, like, oh, that could have been my friend. In fact, there's people that has come out and said, oh, I know him, and he's generally a nice guy, pretty much. I'm gonna leave it off with some questions that I have. I think it's pretty weird that some people are kind of making fan cams of him and kind of idolizing him in a way. I think that's weird. I think my biggest question I think my biggest question in this situation is, could there not have been another way to make a point? I don't know if I'm crazy, but maybe he didn't have to jump to unaliving as the first option. Maybe there could have been other ways to show that you're not happy about the healthcare system and how it's affected you. I don't know, I'm thinking unaliving another person is a little bit unhealthy, you know? Is it wrong that a person was stalked and unalived? Yes. Yes, for sure, it was wrong. But that does lead to the question of, would the situation have gotten this popular had he went to other solutions? Honestly, not sure. I don't know. But that does also bring the question, like, he is connected to other wealthy people. So could he have used his resources to literally do anything else that's not taking someone else's life? Taking someone else's dad out of this world? Like, what's his first genuine conclusion? And why was it his first genuine conclusion to stalk and unalive another person? And what does this say about society? Everybody was praising Gypsy Rose when she got out of jail. Everyone was like, yeah, because she had such a traumatizing upbringing. Some people maybe related to that and just wanted to see her win, which is understandable, but she also unalived another person. Without her influence, her mom would still be alive, but people praised her when she got out of prison. So are we just praising people that unalive as a solution? And why? Why is it getting to this point in society? Do you think that's okay? I personally feel like that should not be the first thing that you should conclude to. I know her situation is kind of difficult because she was a kid at the time, right? But I don't know, maybe she could have ran away to the orphanage. I don't know. I didn't watch the full story, so I don't really know the full thing, but I just really think that there's other kids that has traumatizing upbringings and they didn't unalive their parents. So I don't know, am I crazy? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. That's kind of where I'm sitting right now, but you know, this is the rest of the video. Let me know what you think. I know this is a very difficult kind of subject because so many people do get affected with the results of healthcare. So let me know what you think in the comments down below.